Let me ask you a question. Who of you has one of these in your wallet? Yes. Who of you paid for your TED ticket using a Visa card? Let me put this away before you copy my numbers. Did you know that Visa is a global company transacting more than $4.4 trillion US per year, 64 billion transactions in well over 200 countries? That's incredible. That's like $700 per human being on this planet. Now, think a moment, how big do you think Visa is? How many people do they employ? What, like 20,000, 40, 100,000? Well, in truth, Visa, until very recently, is a global trusted transaction company employing only 3,000 people in 21 offices across 13 countries. Strangely small for the impact they had on the world. They have had that impact by delivering their services using an intricate web of a small core and literally tens of thousands of local banks interoperating with each other. A system of nodes interacting with distant nodes, agreeing on the core principles, yet fiercely competing for every single customer. A model which Visa CEO Dee Hock called a chaos, the unity of chaos and order. Visa's model was prophetic. When they developed this 40 years ago, they brought this to the world right around the same time the internet was born. When you take those two systems and you map them, they look strangely similar. Born apart, yet a reflection of each other. Now, welcome to the age of participation. The action of taking part in something. Germinating and growing on and through the internet, the participation culture is a chaos in its own right, governed by its own set of rules and connecting people and passions all over the world. What do we mean when we say participation culture? The participation culture is a culture in which the person, the public, is not merely a consumer, but a producer. Last year, Stanford opened up one of its entrepreneurship classes to the world. They did so not only by inviting students to watch classes online, but creating an online platform for them to openly share and collaborate and work together. Thousands and thousands of students from all walks of life joined, very often coming from places where they would have never have had access to Stanford learning material. The incredible thing which happened was that these kids not only learned how to be entrepreneurs, they became entrepreneurs. During the course, they created companies which are now set out to change the world for the good. These students were nodes interacting with distant nodes. Today, Stanford opens up more and more of its classes, instigating change all over the world. But there's more, and all not governed by a single gatekeeper. We've got the 99% movement, the Arab Spring. Fashion and sporting good manufacturing practices changed for human good. Food handling, consumer product safety, children's education, higher education, encyclopedias, flash mobs, crowdfunding, microloans, and even car design and Super Bowl ads. Now, it is those that participate who will make change. From politics to the way our food is grown. And it's not only about revolt, it's not only about political revolution. As we've seen in the Stanford example, it's about people coming together for the greater good of mankind and creating solutions which are simply better. So how do we engage in a chaos? How do we engage in this new world? We need to show up ready to play by its very own rules. That means we need to accept the tension between chaos and order. So for some of us, that's easy. For others, it's hard. And for some, it's just plain confusing. So let me lay out 4 simple rules which will help you engage in this new world, regardless if you're an organization, a single human, or a cause, and whether you want to participate or you want to have others participate. So here we go. The first rule. Make things which are magnitudes better than the status quo. Build superior products, because mediocrity is boring and exhausting. People will follow you when the stakes are high and the vision is clear and ambitious. Don't do something which is just marginally better. Be bold. People don't want to feel empowered, they need to be empowered. So empower. Push your decision-making to the edges. Allow the nodes in your system to root around the structure. They kind of sound simple and obvious, but for some it's a real switch, because it means nodes don't ask for permission. Allow participation and participate. Open up your decision-making processes. Be open. Invite people in. That's how you turn outsiders and bystanders into committed insiders. And this is the way how you grow organizations built on the principle of participation. And lastly, treat and expect to be treated as a community of citizens. They are you, and you are them. This is the essence of participation. It is those 4 simple principles, when combined with the power of technology and networks, yield for unprecedented change. Now, adopting these rules can be challenging. If it's not what we've grown up in, it might mean that we need to let go of something to fully engage. And as we've all learned one time or another, letting go of something to create room for something else is a cornerstone of transformation. So what do we need to let go of to fully engage, to live by our passions and enable the passion and talents of nodes far across the globe or right next door? First of all, let go of command and control. It dies in the face of the participation culture. It cannot survive. Then, let go of perfection. Don't wait for something to be perfect before you share. Share your works in progress. Invite people in. This is how you turn outsiders and bystanders into committed insiders. Then, and as a third principle, let go of hierarchy. And this can be really hard on you, because it means that you have to give permission, and we are the ones who act upon it. We are the ones who determine how things are done. No one to ask, no one to give you a key, no one to say you're either in or out, no one to blame, no king to be had if things don't go as planned. Lean into this, and you will not only nurture, but accelerate the participation culture. Let me leave you with a couple of thoughts. The participation culture is here. It's growing, emerging, thriving. And just like the internet, it is connecting people, organizations, all around the world in ways we haven't seen before. Soon there will be too many examples to point to, too many to say it's the exception. Rather, it is my belief it will be the rule. So today you have an opportunity to lean into and embrace it. Or you can say, not yet, and get dragged into this new kind of being. A global society connected as a chaos, participating, empowered, and validated by hearing our own voice in this new world. Thank you.